it was certainly, as a coach, as a manager, you want to test yourself at the highest part of Scottish football. You want to test yourself against the better team, the better managers, and it's only going to be a learning curve for you. The one that's been absolutely outstanding has been Dan McGregor. Week in and week out, he just seems to get better. He gets, after match interviews with managers and discussions after the game, he always gets a mention. And Dan's got that growth mindset that he doesn't see. He sees it a step up at St Mirren Football Club, but he sees it as an opportunity. Because for me, Dan McGregor could step to the next level again for St Mirren.
There was obviously, I was actually away on holiday when the rumour mill started that the gaffer was obviously might have a chance of coming to here, but nothing was sort of set in stone until it got revealed and stuff. And then obviously I'd done well at Cowden and stuff, but I still really never expected them to take me, to be honest. I was always living and hoping. You didn't want to get your expectations raised, but I got the phone call asking if I'd want to come full time, which to me is it's a boy who dreams. So I was manager of a sort of clothing store at the time, but I never had a second thought in my head, to be fair. I just jumped on it and I've never looked back, and I'm so grateful and glad that it's worked out well, and I've settled in well. Again, that's something I think a lot of people underestimate is moving for a full-time job and never actually playing. But like, football's always been my hobby, it's never really been something that's been my full-time job. So, and I think I've adapted well, and the guys here, experienced pros like John Potter, the captain, and Paul Gallagher, the goalkeeper, they've been at this level all their life, so they've helped me settle in. So it just made the transition for work to this a lot more easier, like guys like that.
I actually remember sitting in the gaffer's house in the summer, and the St Mirren thing had come up, and we'd spoken about different players, and I was always of the impression that Dan McGregor could go, and I mean, the gaffer's talking about him going up a level again, and I don't have any doubts about that either. He's got a terrific attitude to the game, Dan. He's well equipped to go and deal with all the rigours of full-time football. He's physically able to do that, but he's also, and I think probably more importantly, mentally able to do it as well. He's a really strong character, quite a quiet, unassuming boy, although sometimes when you can get him in the right situation he could talk for Britain, but you wouldn't think that with Darren. At times you would think he was quite a quiet, but he's, as I say, he can talk, but he's very single-minded when it comes to football, and I like that, and I know the gaffer does as well, so he's done magnificently well.
Number 18, Gareth
Wardlaw on the other side of it, he was absolutely terrific for us, and he wears his heart on his sleeve. You know what you're going to get him out every single time in the pitch. He's fully committed, and he was a wee bit like a Billy Mehmet, and a cheaper version, in the fact that, you know, he would go out there and, you know, he'd run his heart out, and the fans have really taken to him in that. What he does lack that wee bit of quality at times in front of goals, and he should have a better return than what he does have at this minute in time. But if he continues to work, continues to improve in the training ground and listen to the experienced players round about him, like Higdon, wee Craig Dargo, he'll only get better. And I'm delighted for him at 30 that he's still getting that opportunity and hanging in there.
The fans love Gareth Wardlaw, absolutely love him, and it's because of that 100% heart in his sleeve commitment that he gives. The fans love that. With
Paul McQuade, although he's had a wee bit of a stop-start with 1 or 2 injuries at this minute in time, I always felt Paul, if he certainly has the ability, he has the pace. Where Paul's got to understand, he's got to have a stronger mentality and the belief that he can go on and play at this level, because he's the one out of the 3 that I thought would go on and do well, although, as I say, he's been hampered with injuries.
How did it come about? I was actually on holiday in Bulgaria with my girlfriend at the time, and Brian Fairbairn actually came out. He was there on our last night, and we went out with him for a night, and he actually told me that the manager, Danny, had got the St Mirren job. And he said, "You'll be going there." I said, "I don't think so." But when we got back, I had a message on my phone from Danny Lennon that he wanted to speak to me and get me to St Mirren. So that's how that all came about.
Paul, obviously a wee bit unfortunate with injury, but he'll come again. And young Peter's starting to pick up as well, so some good boys, yeah.
There's been a lot said about second division players coming up and lots of negativity surrounding the gaffer bringing us here and whether or not we'd be able to cope, but I think sort of almost halfway through the season, although the team's not doing as well as we'd hoped, I think the guys that have came in have done justice and they've sort of justified the gaffer selection and bringing us here. So I'm hopeful that we've silenced a lot of the critics in that respect, but not just finishing 11th and upwards, to be honest, would be an achievement for us to stay in the SPL. Obviously it's a bit touch and go now, but there's still plenty of games to go, and we're hopeful. We've got a good team spirit here, everybody wants to win, and we've just not had the rub of the green in some games, so we just keep plugging away and keep turning up to training and giving 100%, and hopefully it'll change on match days and we'll get something. And all you need in football is one result. I mean, it's good, it's brilliant when the sort of the going's going good and stuff and you're fully confident, but you test characters and you find out who the real players are when you're in the sort of trenches, and that's what we are at the moment. So we'll find out in the next few weeks whether or not we can pull us out, but I'm pretty hopeful, to be honest, that we will, and we'll stay in the SPL. The first season I was there, we had Derek Fleming, left back. He was obviously experienced and he'd been around, cultured left foot on him and stuff. And who else have we got? John Dempster as well. He's been about the sort of lower divisions and played juniors and stuff, and he always used to take me aside and give me wee sort of words of wisdom and just tell me to keep going. That was a good player. He believed in me as well, so that sort of gave me faith that I'd maybe step up one day. So boys like Dempster and Flea, as we used to call him, were obviously helpful in progressing me as a football player. Touré towards the end as well, when he came in, he's obviously an experienced pro as well, so all these guys sort of add wee bits to your game and sort of bring you on as a football player. So I want to thank all of the guys as well for getting me here. Davy Haight deserves a big mention as well, because he was there the first time I was there as well. He's a great guy and I owe him a lot as well.
A big thing for me was the support throughout the 2 years in Mirren there. They were absolutely wonderful. Had to win them over, to be perfectly honest, going in there, and that's like any manager going in, you know, what you're going to bring to the club. But I think we were good for one another. We've put them into a place and a position where they're healthy, they're getting bigger crowds, which can only help the Jimmy Nichols budget and that at this minute in time. So it gave me also that grounding which I needed, and it also gave me, if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be with the wonderful opportunity that I have at St Mirren Football Club today. So it was a great experience for me, and I think, you know, the two years were good for one another.
Well, this is it. I mean, in my case is different for a lot of guys' cases, because a lot of the guys, well, for instance, that used to come into my store were sort of Hibs, Hearts, youth players for maybe like 15, 16, and they had been until they're 19, 20, and then they didn't make that grade, and then what happens is they get cut and they either come down to the level I was at or below, and because they've seen the other side of the fence, i.e. the good facilities, lunch, match preparation, Lucasade, wee tiny things like wing gums and stuff after games, silly wee things like that, they've had all of that. So when they drop down to your Cowdenbeaths or your Berwick Rangers and they see the facilities on offer, they just go, oh, this isn't for me, and they chuck it. But I've went the reverse. I've seen the other side of the fence. That's why I'm so sort of grateful at being in my present situation, because I know what it's like down. I've been juniors, I've been to all the dodgy parks where you need to clean the dog mess off the park before you get on it and all the rest of it. I've seen that side of it, and now I'm playing it like Parkhead and Ibrox, so I'm just, as I say, I couldn't be more happy. I
miss the days cutting the grass, cleaning up with the kids, but to be perfectly honest, I wouldn't change anything for it, because it gave me a great understanding and total respect to exactly what other people's jobs and responsibilities out with the playing side of a football club is, and I've always taken that above with me. I've always taken an interest in the job that the two full-time groundsmen at St Mirren do. They've always got the football pitch immaculate, right down to the wee tea ladies, so every wee thing there. And going in there and being so pragmatic as what I had to be at Cowdenbeath Football Club has certainly given me a great grounding in schooling, and I hope not to lose that. Although sometimes when you go to a bigger club, you've maybe not got as much a say or an influence as things that you would like to but on the other side of that, sometimes it's not a bad thing also. But it's it was certainly a great experience for us, and it'll always be a part of my life, and I'm very grateful to be given that opportunity and to start off a young manager's career, you know, and do reasonably well with them. But as I said there, the two were good for one another, and I'll be ever so grateful for them for that.